Well, it's time to come back to Manzanita and start to finish what we started in the last video. And yeah, you can see pretty clearly the area that I built in that video. It does a pretty good job of standing out. It's probably the most concrete heavy quadrant of any of the cities that I've built so far in this region. I don't know, this industrial district here might come close to competing, but it's nowhere near the density. So yeah, you can already see that the city center over here is going to be something quite different from all my other work around here. So without further ado, let's jump into the city. Okay, so here we are. Now today I think my area of focus is going to be this huge unbuilt quadrant of land to the west of the main north-south highway over here. Well, not really a highway, but thoroughfare, I guess is a better word. And yeah, it's a little bit more of an ambitiously large space than I worked on in the last episode. But on the other hand, it should, I think I'm going to try to rely a bit heavier on grids, so hopefully it should go pretty smoothly. Yeah, in fact, I think I could get started with extending some of those grids right now, at least over here with these streets. I'm going to have to decide how I'm going to have those end in a minute. Or, you know what, I could just do it right now. I don't think they'll go right up to the highway like that, but they will come pretty close to it. And yeah, they'll just be dendrite streets like that. I think that the turning lane road should provide plenty of access. So no problem there. Now this area, I think I want it to be the more industrial one. Well, further south, I still want this area to have quite a fair bit of industrial zones, but I also want to disperse them a little bit for the sake of not worsening air pollution too much. Yeah. So that'll be what's going on there, and I think maybe before I get started on that, I might want to work on completely zoning in this neighborhood, because that might be a little bit of a low-hanging fruit. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Maybe this street could be a dead end somewhere around there or so. Actually, there's a little better. And we could have residential zones even along this road, because why not? Looks like there are already some bus stops around here. Yeah, you know what? I might actually want to build these bus stops for this neighborhood before anything else. So let me just see where I've already got bus stops on the wider avenue up here. Looks like there are very few. Yeah, that's not good. There's one there, one up there, and one down there. I guess that's kind of barely enough, that road. But there are definitely going to have to be some more. And I'm sure that it would make sense to start out by putting some around here and here. Not those bus stops though. So let me scroll down to the RTMT bus stops. Alright, yeah, like that, one there and one there. And then, yeah, I'm also going to want some for, I don't know about the central road here. I think it will be able to do without, but not so this one. So I'll definitely have two right there. And over around the intersection with the main thoroughfare there, because it works. And it'll be nice to, you know, to sort of double down on public transportation capacity in a main area like that. Oh wow, because hey, it looks like I didn't realize this, but there are no bus stops around the main intersection here. So actually this is quite necessary. Okay, yeah, that makes a big difference. That should be enough in the way of bus stops though. So I think the way I'll do this is I'll make it mainly industrial zones fronting on the avenue over here, and also on this 3-lane avenue here, which seems like a relatively clean way of doing things. Try to leave plenty of space for parking lots, which, spoiler alert, they're gonna be coming in the future. Alright, yeah, this is going to be some pretty heavy industrial zoning. I'm sure the air pollution won't be too hot either, but it will be just fine. So let's get some that look similar to each other over there. Today I don't think I'm going to even bother with the landmarks. I mean, I already have a good amount of all those buildings in this city already. So it does have the potential to look pretty repetitive. Now for the big question, do I want industrial or residential closer to the highway? And I think that the answer to that is a pretty emphatic industrial. Because who wants to live right next to a highway like that? So we're going to build a bit of a redundant street right there. And cover its whole extent with industrial zones. Actually, I mean, it is possible to build a 4x3 parking lot, right? That would look good over there. Maybe a 6x3 parking lot would be well suited for this area too. Yeah. So that's what's going to be there. Then it won't need a parking lot right across, of course. So we'll get some pure industrial zoning over there, except for another small parking lot space. And that should be it for the industrial zones. So let's get on to the parking lots, which I've spent quite a while talking about. Alright, let's get some of those 4x4s. Big meaty lots. I don't know about putting one down by this intersection. Seems like it might be a bit much. But where else do I really... I could definitely use one over here. I have to rebuild that tulip very carefully, unfortunately. Here, let's see if I crash out right now. That'd be pretty funny. In a not very funny kind of way. Okay, yeah. No issue. None at all. So, okay, what else was it? 6x3, right? Yes, I'll place it like that. And it looks like I wanted a 2x2. Yeah, that's it. Oh no. Don't tell me I lost my override. Oh well, looks like I'm gonna have to rebuild a few puzzle pieces. Isn't that all fun, especially right after building these TE lots. So I know it's a bit unclassy. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna have to rebuild a bunch of tulips, huh? So I know it's a bit unclassy, but I'm gonna take a save on camera right here. Because, well, frankly, I just want to get this repair work done with. And it is quite the risk of a crash with that parking lot. So the first one I'm going to have to place is the transition. And this is my first time working with puzzle pieces in how long? A very long time. Alright. So yes, this is the way that I'm going to need it to face. But it looks like I'll need to demolish a tile of that stub. That's doable, that's doable. Maybe even 2 tiles, just for safety's sake. Okay, yes, just like this. Bam. Okay. Good. Now it might be a little bit tricky. You know what? God damn it. They're gonna make me rebuild quite a bit over here, aren't they? Well, man, what a load of bull. So hopefully I can get an override of some kind going without too much issue, and then demolish it. Then rebuild a ton of tulips. So where were the NWM starters again? Completely forgot. They gotta be right there, of course. So Av6. Let me try putting the starter piece right there. Now let's connect all that and see if it holds. Uh-oh. Well, you know what? I can always build another tulip or two. And things are stable in the other direction, so that should bring me no problem at all. Yeah, I can deal. And of course, the non-center tiles, the override holds just fine due to the nature of the NWM tulips. Now it's in the center that we're really having a problem here. In fact, I'm going to need to rebuild that starter one more time. So we'll give this a try. And yeah, that should be all we need. Now for the tulips, and this is the truly dangerous part. I believe I'll start with the road type tulips. I might as well get them into place for over here. I'm doing tulips at the same time. So it's going to be the same puzzle piece for all of these intersections. And yeah, that looks right. And yeah, just two tiles should be plenty, I think. 2 tiles of turning lane nodes. Alright. Let's get 1 tile there, 1 tile there. Don't need any on those on that other intersection. Okay, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Oh wow, I was hovering that puzzle piece over a parking lot right there, but somehow I seem to have evaded disaster. So I'm gonna keep this starter piece in place for now until I'm completely done with everything else. Yeah, so I want the blank turning on right there. Let's make sure that's connected. And now I think it'd be a good idea to go for the intersection. Place it like that. Maybe now it's safe to demolish this. I don't know. Looks like I'll have to rebuild it one more time. Connect that up. Maybe I can just demolish that. Yeah, that looks like it'll work just fine. Perfect. That was quite a delicate situation right there. For what it could have been. So yeah, it looks like there's no special transition for the AV6, so I'll have to use that one. And then these pieces here and here. And yeah, that does it pretty well, if I say so myself. Although it does look like I have to rebuild this one more time, because I got the wrong intersection piece in there. It was pretty clumsy of me to not spot that. And oh man, there's going to be some more rebuilding, huh? Okay, so the starter piece has to go in first. And you know what, I'm going to repair the normal tulips first, even though I have a gut feeling that this might not be the right choice, since it may end up needing to be demolished again. So now we should be safe. Uh-oh. Oh no, not this damn thing. I'm just gonna get rid of that parking lot. It was the cause of all these problems. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just sick of these buggy lots. Shouldn't have even tried it. Or no. Wow. Okay, looks like that wasn't the parking lot causing the problem altogether. Rather, it was, whatchamacallit. Just a problem with the starter piece, the bug with it. There's really no prettier word than bug. This thing is just not getting demolished. Over here too? Yeah, I just don't know if I'll be able to manage this. And I totally negated the reason that I had demolished the transition in the first place, which was to replace this lot. Yeah, just being a little spacey there. Hope I can actually finish something in this video. So hopefully our starter piece will be a little safer over here. So let me get tulip or two into place to start. Just that should be enough. Let's see where this gets me. Same problem now. Wow. It just really wants me to have that starter piece in there. Well, that's not going to work. Looks like I'll have to get rid of all this again. And that starter piece has been ruined apparently. And there's a bug here too. And there. What is going on here? Why is it behaving so weird? Okay, this time let's try to do everything right the first time. Do the tulips on the north side first. So, yeah, start out with this. And one of these, then one of those. Now let's do the red ones. I just knew I would be rebuilding these another time. Okay, that and that. Now let's get the intersection down. And the right intersection. Yeah, so it's a cross intersection. And perfect. Looks like it will just barely work out this time. Okay, so one there, that and that. And alright, man, I do not want to touch this anymore. That was such a pain compared to what it should have been. And I've still got a few tulips to replace. Just over right here. Step 8, A1. And, yep, that intersection. Okay, good. So let's get on with a little bit more zoning now. This is going to be a residential street. Maybe there can be a little bit of commercial development right there, though. And this neighborhood should have some sort of small park. Actually, let's have two. Because that just seems like the nice thing to do. So, let's go on through these. This pine park would look pretty good somewhere. Say right there? No, not there. What about over there? Yeah, that's a keeper. Blends in pretty well with the area around it, so I won't worry about filling in these 3 tiles right here. Seems a bit more open space always does a city well. So I want something 4x3. I really don't have too many parks in this pack, do I? Quite a small variety, actually. Yeah, I'm really limited to using a lot of Max's stuff. Max's Garden Center. Can't say I know what this is. I don't know about right there, though. Over here would work. Just like that. and get the 4x4 zone back in place. I want a real park though around this area. Maybe a couple softball fields would do the trick. Yeah, I'll have to get rid of the 4x4 zone after all, but what can you do? Wow, FPS going down to 1 for a minute here. Hopefully it'll just recover again. I really don't know what causes this. It really does bother me. Although perhaps not quite as much as it should, considering the fact that I am playing right through it. It'll be over in a moment, I'm sure. That's how it does tend to go. And yeah, I seem to have recovered already. So yeah, no commercial zones in this area. The property is just too high value, I think. Well, obviously industrial zones count as commercial zones in a way. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm getting at. So those definitely do lower the property values. Ooh, maybe a tiny community in here. That would look pretty cool. Very big city type thing. Just a little bit left. And perfect. This area is zoned 100%. Just a few trees to replant here and there, and that will be it. So now I feel pretty free to get on to the next part. And just trying to think about where things will go. I'm definitely going to want another main east-west avenue to the south of this one going into downtown. So let me plan out where that's going to be. I think 6 tiles is maybe a bit little. 8 tile, 9 tiles apart. That seems like a good medium for the sort of thing I want to do. And yeah, I have a very strong feeling that there will be another slightly larger avenue running north-south around here, but I won't build that for now. I'll save that for when I'm working on downtown. Because I have a couple of different ideas how I might link that up with the other already existing parts of the city. And yeah, it's not necessarily the most urgent. So this one, I think turning lane avenue would work pretty well. It works really nicely with all the tulips, so it seems like a natural choice. And it'll just have to abruptly end at some point. In fact, it may be intelligent to transition away from Turning Lane Avenue after this intersection here. So I'm just going to assume I'm going to do that. And then let's try to find the first flat spot here. I think that'd be, yeah, it looks like right here. Not the worst spot, I guess. So this road is going to turn into that avenue. Following a path roughly like that. And I think there will also have to be, well, this road is going to obviously extend right on through the main avenue. And I think there will have to be something in between these. Say, that's 15 tiles. Yeah, say right here. It won't be quite so wide, although maybe when it goes right into downtown I'll widen it into a road floor. I'll see about that. But yeah, it's just sort of going to end over here. So, seems like a pretty logical thing that I would want to figure out my transitions right away, but actually, I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit undecided on how to approach the road network in this area. Now downtown I was very much thinking, you know what, this pretty much merges right into downtown, so I'm going to have downtown road network extend at least partially into here, and for that I was thinking of having parallel streets 6 blocks apart. But actually, I'm changing my mind again. Nope, nope, nope. This street at least is going to have a 6 blocks distance. I may make the next couple streets a little bit closer together though. I'll have to see how expedient that is. That street's going to be relatively straight. Okay. So let's see how easy it is to fit in this transition. Yeah, if it looks like if I put it in, I'll be prevented from having blocks that are 4 wide. At least if I want my override to work right. Well, I might be able to pull it off actually. Yeah, I could totally pull it off. But is that what I want to do? I think it is. Okay. So, let's go to our transitions. We're going to want road to have 2 right there, and hey, it has a starter piece already included. It's very nice. So yeah, I can easily... Whoop. Looks like I built it on the wrong tile even. So we can get rid of that and replace it. Transitions. Yeah, just like so. And that gives me plenty of space for my next road intersection. So I can have these intersections really close together on this road here. In fact, I may even want to make it into a turning lane avenue. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to do that, but in a minute. It doesn't have to be right now. Then over here, maybe there should be something special. I don't know though yet. I have to give that a little bit of thought. So yeah, I think that having these streets just kind of terminate before the highway shouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Maybe I'll have some of them connect to each other though. Yeah, like so. And then this is going to have to connect to the next street wherever it falls. I think that that should probably be over here. Yes. Actually, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Yeah, I'm not talking too much right now, but I'm trying to just do this right the first time. One thing I hate is having to rebuild a road network a million times. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me in the comments. What do you think about this? I think that this network works pretty well for the sort of neighborhood I intend this to be. Which, yeah, I think I'm going to go very light on the industrial in this neighborhood after all. So over here, I do want the avenue to continue for some time. But all of this, I believe, is going to be TLA 5. So I'll get a starter piece in there somewhere. There's as good as anywhere, I guess. And it's plenty of space to demolish it safely. So really, the easiest way to do things would just be to transition this into a street after the intersection. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to do. So I believe I need at least that much space before the transition. And it should be pretty safe. And down here, I think I'll just bring the street across. Let's see how far apart these were again. 7. But 9 is really a better distance for this sort of block. A little more natural looking. So I think I'll have blocks of 9 right there. Maybe there could be an interior street or something over here. And I'll worry about this area in a minute. And this area too. Actually, I could do something interesting here right now. Just have a little S-curve and a partial intersection. Okay, yeah, that will work just fine, I think. So now, looks like this street intersection is going to have to go. Yeah, just nothing to replace. Yeah, that block wasn't really needed, I guess. So let's get some culottes into place before it becomes more difficult. So, yeah, I think I want the T-end right there. Let's get the type A transition right here, though. Yep, just like that. And any more road tulips I want to place? Yes. Yeah, I want a T-end there. And another T-end here. Perfect. Now let's get the other transition pieces. Yeah, just like that. And one for over here. Nope, not that one. Alright. Now let's finish it up. Almost there. Let's make sure that that built right. Looks like it did. Excellent. So what else is needed? A few avenue tulips, right? So we can have a type A right here. And another type A right here, I think. Looks like that's correct. Now for this, I should probably make it a lot bigger, huh? So I'll give a room for a full 4 tiles of tulips here, because there's really nothing to lose by doing that. And the same on up here. Yeah, it's 4 tiles, alright. One right there. Now let's get our A1s into place. And there. There and there. And where else? There and there. Now the blanks, a blank 1. That all looks correct. So now let's do the turning lanes on the big avenue. They'll have to be a little bit shorter than the ones facing them, unfortunately. Yeah, that looks like all I'll be able to handle. So maybe I shouldn't have put so much space for turning lanes on the 4-lane avenues after all, but I don't think anybody's going to complain. So let's get the blank pieces right in. Oops. And that's it for that. So now all that's needed is the intersections. Yeah, that's right. And that's right. And that should be right, yes. Okay. Whew. That's a bit of precision work right there, I guess. So as far as how I'm gonna work out the remainder of this, I think I'm gonna want a few, yeah, definitely industrial zones along the main east-west avenue here, because it's going into an industrial zone. It's going straight to downtown, which just seems appropriate. And this area, it's going to have parking lots. I don't know exactly where I'm going to build them quite yet. Worry about that in a bit. Actually, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself right here. What I should worry about first is where these bus stops are going. So we're definitely going to want them along the main road by both of these main intersections. No question. And then this intersection too is definitely going to need them. And we could use some in the middle along that road. And maybe this road as well, although I am tempted to say, yeah, you know what, sometimes you just have to go for it. And just an extra for capacity extension purposes way over on the edge over there. And I believe, or actually, I might pass on that one after all, because I was thinking that I might put some on the very edge of the city tower right there. And that is very close to those bus stops, but I think it's okay. So maybe the extra bus stop could actually go here. It's not the best idea in the world, but it's not the worst either. Okay, okay, so now I feel much better. Now for what I'm going to do in this area, I'm thinking, what about a circular road? That should work alright, right? Yeah, it should be fine. Hopefully it doesn't look too silly. Okay, enough of that. Maybe a big industrial zone right there too. How wide is this? 4? Yeah, maybe a 4x3 parking lot over there and another industrial zone. And I think this was going to be a 4x4 parking lot here. 4x4 zones. Maybe you could face it. And that's probably good on that. Now for this area, I'm also going to be wanting some apartment buildings. As for where those should go, I don't know. I think it would make a sense, not make a sense, but I think it would make sense to put a couple facing the main north-south thoroughfare. So yeah, I'll plan on doing that. But if I want to do that, I want to spruce it up a little bit first. Because right now it's very gritty. Not gritty, but gritty. I don't know how well that distinction will come across to any non-native English speakers, but yeah, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you get it. Okay, so I've got to decide where my last industrial zones are going to go fast. And I'm thinking I do want some facing this main avenue, but I'm going to keep them down here. Now over here, yeah, this is going to be a parking lot, I think. So I'll just leave that like that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have a slightly different type of parking lot. Okay, so should I build those lots now? I think I will, before I forget. So let's not have it facing the main avenue so as to avoid an... Well, this is TLA 5. An intersection looks fine on this thing. 4x3. I wanted one of those right there, right? Yes. Right. It looks like I will have to rebuild one tulip. Actually, more than one. That's a shame. Looks like I forgot to put some in right there, actually. Well, I can solve that right now. Should be an easy fix. So type A1, A1 blank, A blank 1, A1, and the intersection. Okay, now for the last of the parking lots. Another 4x3 over here, I think. And then with that, like that, I think I'll have something else. You know what? I think I might have one of my first large... This might be my very first medium density commercial zone I'm building in this city. And you know what? Given that, I won't even do that. We'll make it low density. It'll still be a fairly big building, I'm sure. But yeah, this is definitely a thoroughfare that could use a little bit in the way of commercial zoning. Not too much, not too much. Okay. So, looking good so far. We are almost done with this area, actually, now that I think about it. But one thing I want to get on before I go into the residential zoning wholesale is what's going to happen here in the way of parks. I think a large old plaza might be appropriate. especially at this intersection. Yeah, just like so. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Maybe some smaller parks too. You know, I might have to go vanilla. Ooh, I didn't realize I had these diagonal fillers. I don't think I'll be using them though. Looks like gates. You know, there's actually a fair amount of plugins here I'm unfamiliar with. I might have the prop box causing one in my folder after all, but hopefully I will not run into that. I mean, chances are really against it, and even if I did, I could definitely finish this city even with it, without too much effect. So it's no problem. But yeah, I should really try to find something now. Yeah, more walls. I'm gonna have to go vanilla, it looks like. So let's find a vanilla one I could be happy with. Small plaza. This is going to be an apartment building. And over here we might even have more apartment buildings. But not quite yet. Now over here seems like a prime spot for a few more retail buildings. And another apartment right by the bus stop. I'll worry about the other side of this avenue once I start work on downtown, because yeah, I'm still not entirely sure how I want to handle that area. Let's decide where we want the other apartments. Another one by this plaza I think would work splendid. Maybe a big one here. Nah, I'll leave it a bit smaller than the others. More apartments here. Facing each other is nice. And I do want a couple on this road as well. Definitely one by the parking lot, so I can make use of that. Or two, actually. Yeah, over here. That seems like a prime spot as well. And maybe a couple smaller buildings. And a couple larger ones too. Right on the main road where those two main thoroughfares merge into a single two-lane road. Not the best planning design, but that's how things work out in real life a lot of the time, surprisingly. So with that, I think I do probably want to pay a bit more attention to parks before I completely finish zoning this area. So I will get on that. Just do something really simple. Just open grassy area, I think. Yeah, that's what it will have to be. And it doesn't look the best with the textures, but it'll work. It'll work. Like that will be fine. Okay, so the rest of this will just be low density, normal residential. Although it won't be the lowest density because the zones will be packed in pretty tight. Since it is a city center area. So it should be really fast to do this part of the zoning. I have a feeling this video has dragged on for quite a while now, and I haven't checked the time at all. But yeah, my apologies. Hopefully you find this stuff interesting. I know I wouldn't make these videos if I didn't watch similar types myself. Okay. Maybe just a single zone there. And it looks like we have just about got it. Here, let me get... Man, somebody's just blowing up my messages there. I should check that sooner than later. Looks like there's no way to pave in the sidewalk over there, but it's a pretty small gap. It's pretty narrow anyway, even if I could, so not the biggest loss. Now just a bit more area to zone in. And there'll be some open area for trees. In the interior of that block, which is nice. Alright, so I'm varying the zone sizes a bit more than I have to here, but I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to do that. I don't know, I don't think I need to articulate that spiral anymore. That might just look silly. So I'll leave it as it is. And for these areas, too easy, too easy. Now I'm going to take a quick break to save, and then we'll zoom out and see about developing this area. Or actually, before I do that, let's fill in some of these missing trees. Whoops. Don't want to extend the brush too much or I'll end up ruining a bunch of plot plots. And grown ones for that matter too. Hopefully I can get them a bit closer to the highway here. Yeah, it looks like I could. There's no problem there. Over here I really want to fill in. Okay, nice. Now let's get plenty right here too. And there's definitely missing trees up here as well. So it's really whatever can fit. I'm going to want them here as well. Yeah. And over here, this is a really wide open space with nothing. Looks like one more little spot. I think only one of those trees may survive. And that's about it, so I will see you back in just a moment. Okay, so saved and zoomed out. And yeah, it's definitely a bigger area than the last video dealt with, by quite a bit. That's more than 50% larger. Anyway, hopefully it will develop pretty quick, because this video has been going on for quite a long time. And of course, the industrial zoning comes in right away. Looks like I'm missing fire protection. And wow, out of water. I guess I can believe it. Here, let me see what my water pollution looks like. I bet it's pretty bad. Really only over there. So, what are my funds looking like? I can afford to build a pretty big water plant. Where are the others I have so far? None up here, huh? Oh no, they're all up here. So I might have to get rid of that right there. And on its footprint, I'll build a new one. Okay, and Let me see, I'm doing okay on garbage, right? Yeah, good. I hate building new garbage facilities. And yeah, so what about fire protection? I was about to worry about that, right? Fire hazards. Yeah, looks like I've got just about nothing for the center city area. Which makes some sense. I mean, it's definitely the newest part of the city. So let me, not police, but fire. Let me see if there's like a nice big one that would suit an area like this well. I might not have anything like that installed. And yep, sure enough, it looks like I don't. So I don't know about building just a bunch of these. That seems pretty lame. Especially since the large fire station looks to have a larger radius. Yeah, that's pretty lame, alright. So it should be on a main road if I'm not going to be stupid about it. Or near a main road, rather. I think over here will do fine. Looks like it didn't even demolish anything. And I'll probably want another one up, say, around here somewhere. Let me turn off the thing really quick. Oh yeah, right there, it fits perfectly. Splendid. That's a good amount of coverage. I really probably am going to need one up here as well, though. Where will it fit really neatly? Maybe on this corner is a good idea. Yeah, why not? Okay, nice. So that should definitely improve things. Man, I really did not put too many industrial buildings into this neighborhood, huh? Hopefully all the residential zones in a timely fashion, though. I always hate waiting for that stuff. And, oh, wow. Looks like I forgot to fix up this avenue. That should be some pretty quick work, though. Because it's not like I can't just keep this start a decent place. So yeah, that's looking pretty well. Looks like looks like it's just going to take a bit to grow in. So tell you what, this video's already been really long. I won't make you watch all of the low frame rate simulator running footage. I'll just skip forward a bit. Alright, so you know what I just realized is this area does not have any police. In fact, the entire city is absent of police services. So I am very tempted to put some kind of huge downtown police building into place right now. And it looks like these buildings together, they are 7 tiles apart. And it looks like, yeah, this was 6 apart, so I might, for the next street I'm planning to have, I might have to demolish this, but it was a growable building, so it's no big loss. Yeah, that's how it's going to have to happen. Because there's going to need to be a road here. And I don't know if it's... I'm pretty sure... I don't know, actually. Might make a lot of sense to have it as a 2-tile network right there. Road 4 or something. Yeah, I keep saying I don't know. But I really don't know. it's not really like this is the heart of downtown anyway. Yeah, I think I'll have a road 4 somewhere else further along. But it will be a full road 2, certainly. So I will just build out the intersections along a couple of these roads, just so that I know where that's going to be. And the police station is going to go right on the old main highway, and it's going to be some kind of grand building, I think. I think I should have something of that variety in my plugins here. So not really too much, but I do have this at least. And it's a suitably grand looking old building, I think. How wide is it? That's 4 wide, right? Yeah, so it has room for something else big next to it before the next intersection. Perfect. Alright, so just placing that should definitely make a big difference as to our overall crime. Let's see if we can see the effect on the data view really fast. Yeah, wow. That just disappeared all over the city. Let's look at the graph. Yeah, sure enough, just went down nearly to 0. Yeah, and you can see there was quite a bit of redevelopment right in the moment I plopped that down. And in fact, with that, almost all of the most stubborn residential areas have zoned in. So I think that it looks like there remains a bit of a problem with this area here. This industrial area which hasn't zoned in. So that should come in pretty fast once I rezone it to a lot size that makes more sense. Something came in there, but not something I like. Okay, let's try it like this. It should zone in. Looks like we've got some health problems too, but I won't worry about that today. Seems a little bit too involved. Might plop a couple more parks though, just to perk up development this quarter. Sure enough, that brought some warehouses, or more than warehouses. That's a pretty big building. Notice that right there? It looks kind of like a grain site. It's Prairie Star Food Company. It's a landmark. We've got some terraced houses. I don't know how in place they look right there, but it'll do. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for what I wanted to do today. I would call this session a success. Man, this high-tech area is very repetitive, but I might keep it. I have a lot of those building all over the city, but I'll have to think about it a little. Yeah. Anyway, it was a fun session too, so it's bringing us a lot closer to the end of Manzanita. All that's left now is the downtown area. And man, I have some cool ideas in store for this. Hopefully you'll find them as cool as they seem to me right now. So, without further ado, I'll catch you in the next video.